Welcome back. So I had to, this was the original servo that I was going to use for the nose steering here, but it's just too small, and I think it wouldn't have been enough torque anyways. So I put one of these 703s or 704s, what are they, 703s on, and hooked everything up. I absolutely hate this setup because that's a 900, hold on. That's 847 at 6.6 volts and 916 at 7.4. So I'm running this at 6.6 now. And I tell you, this will ruin these servos in the long run, because one, torque ratings on servos are, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they're designed for 1 inch, a 1 inch arm to get that spec torque. So if you put direct drive like this, you subtract something. I don't know what this thing can put, direct drive, but with the servo powered up, I can take this wheel and I can move this servo. It don't have enough ass to hold it. There's no leverage, and I absolutely hate that. I could put a servo arm on the end of this and try to do like a linkage, but dear God, that would be a pain. And you would probably have to extend this up higher, and then it would probably hit this bulkhead here. So yeah. So I don't know what kind of amps this is drawing, but let me turn it on here and you can kind of see. Let's put it at 15. That's kind of centered here. I mean, and it just hums. I mean, like I said, that is, yeah. So I can move this thing and I can go back and forth and tweak this a little bit, and it just barely moves. Let me get a amp meter here. I'm gonna put this on my head real quick. See what kind of amps we're getting out of this thing. Be interesting. I might actually put one of those capacitors on this guy just to see, just to make sure, So let's see. 0.2 amps, and keep in mind there is no weight on this servo, on this nose, so let's stroke it a little bit here, because that's what lubes that O-ring. Alright, so let's see, and I hope you guys can see this because I don't have my camera turned on the phone. So 1 amp. So there's an amp kind of at the I think that's kind of the extreme. Yeah, so you go to about right there. Alright, so yeah, you're looking at almost 2 amps, just like 1.76 amps. To drive this thing, and that should go down with 7.4 volts. which you know how it is when they're charged, they top out at 8.4, so you're gonna have a little bit more, but the voltage regulator in the power system obviously regulates it to 7.4, so it's gonna be 7.4. So let me I'm gonna put get a receiver out and hook it up to actually 7.4 volts and see if it helps a little bit better. So, but yeah, it's nothing crazy. I did change out their metal screws for some stainless steel ones here. So I replaced these 4. They were these are like 10 millimeter, and these are 4 millimeters on top. And what you got 2 heavy duty washers per side. So you got one that goes on the bottom that sits on top of the post. You put the servo down, and then put a washer, and then put the 3 millimeter screw in. This so there's a screw for the servo to hold this thing onto the servo output shaft. In this, you have to use this one, from best I could tell. It goes on snug. It doesn't go on snug. It slides right up on, so it's kind of it's not a crazy type press fit like a lot of servo arms are now. But when you put it on, tighten that screw down, there's no slop. And then there's one set screw on a flat spot of this big metal shaft here, which is what drives the nose wheel. I wish, yeah, so, yeah, I just don't like that. Anyway, so that's just a little quick video for you guys and gals on this. Man, I really don't know what you guys saw on that, but a lot of these screws are loose, so be sure and check all these. I'm going through and kind of, the only set screw I didn't touch is that one right there. I don't know what the hell that set screw goes to. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's one in the back, so I'll make sure that one's tight at least. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna take this off real quick before the Loctite dries, and check and tighten that one, because it looks like it's not in very far, so it's probably not tight. But yeah, you want to go through all the screws and make sure everything's tight and everything. So, but that would be my last servo, and that was probably it for the night. So tomorrow I'll hop on. I gotta pull that tank out so I can start putting the fittings in. I'll probably start putting in the motors tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Motors, pipe, tail cone, and then I'll jump on to the chute pod there, flare pod / parachute. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna play around with their mechanism. They have looks like a worm drive, that goes on like an electric gear in there, and it just spins and pushes a little tube, like a little flat piece out that pushes your parachute out. So and it comes with a controller. So if I can ditch that, if I have to ditch that, I'll just go with a linear actuator, which should be it's a lot more simple. But I'll have to see what it all entails. So you guys take it easy. I'm gonna take this back apart real quick, tighten that set screw, and then put it together. Try it on 7.4 volts, and we'll see what kind of amps it gets. But you guys take it easy.